Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm on the wrong camera, so give me just a second, you all. I'm about to switch cameras. Um, but I want to welcome you to our community check-in. I use my computer. I use my computer to, there we go. Ah, much better, much better, much better. Okay. Of course, I want to remind those of you who won't be watching this live. Today is Thursday, July 15th. The time is 12. I'm a little late. The time is 12:10. If you're not watching this live, then you can feel free to fast forward about 20 minutes. We're getting into the word today. We have a word about brokenness, and I don't want you to miss it. And I also don't want your friends, your family members, anybody who's ever been broken. And if you're in over 5, 10, 50, if you're an adult, I know there's been a moment. There's been some experience. There's been some reality, some event that you went through, some trauma that you endured that broke you in some shape, form, or fashion. If you've ever experienced brokenness, you want to be here for today's word. But you can go ahead and fast forward through the question of the day. And you can meet us around 20 minutes and we can get the word and the prayer. For the rest of you who are coming in, I want to give you time to come in today. I want to say welcome to our community check-in. I'm going to give you a little time to come in. Come in. When you come in, please let us know how you are doing. Of course, those of you who are veterans at this, I feel like something is weird about my lighting. I don't know. I don't like it. But anyway, if today's community check-in is a time to come in for us, just check in on each other, check in with each other, let us know how we're doing, give prayer requests, and give praise reports. So today, if you have a prayer request, Miss Morel K, let me make sure I'm sure about your prayer list. I see you right now. Here's what I have for you. I have Anderson and Honeycutt families, Nona Honeycutt, and the family of Cameron Honeycutt. If that's your prayer list, let me know. If not, go into the comments and let me know who is on your prayer list. If you would do that, I'd be grateful. Here's what I'd love for you all to do. For those of you who all are coming in, please remember you help us a great deal when you join us, but you help us a great deal. I hate that. See, that my lighting to do. My lighting feel okay. Maybe that's a little better. That's gonna have to do today. I'll have to fix all this later. But if you y'all forgive me. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much, Morel K. As you all are coming in, we have a great time. Miss Leanne Marie, I tell you what, 2:30. If you give me a call at 2:30, that'd be a great time. I'll be open around 2:30, Miss Leanne Marie Russell Keeper, and I'd love to talk to you. And I know I owe you a conversation, so 2:30 be a great time for me. What am I doing? I'm welcoming you all to community check-in. Oh, I'm going over our housekeeping items. Please remember to like. Those of you who are in here today, please remember to comment and continue to talk and continue to communicate with me as we go through this check-in. Here's the last thing I want you to do. Is I would love for you to share. I would hope and I would pray that you would please share your live. Please take a moment right now. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm about to find us here on Facebook. And I'm sharing my live. For those of you who are coming in, welcome to our community check-in. We've got a great word. If you've ever been broken, if you know anyone who's ever gone through brokenness, I'm serious, you all. You need to invite them to this check-in. Call them, text them, tag them, share your live. We're going to have a great conversation about brokenness today. We're going to have a great conversation about brokenness. And I pray that you would join us. I'm still looking for my live so that I can share. It's right here. Okay. Check in with me today. I'm still sharing my live. I hope that you're joining me and sharing your live. Hey, Miss Luna Chamberlain, I'm about to speak to you all in just a minute. If you have ever been broke, all right, I just shared my live. I'm praying that you would share your live. I'm also liking. If you would take time and go ahead and give us a like on Facebook. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you share. We're about to get into our hellos. All right. Let's see who's here today. Let's see who's here. Good afternoon. It's good to see you all the way from Louisiana. Margaret White Darby, it's great to see you. If you're coming in today, please take a moment to say hello, no matter how long you plan on staying. We want to hear from you. Morel K, it's a blessing to have you this morning. Good to see you. Valeria Boykin, good afternoon to you as well. And we're always glad to have you. Karen Valdez, I'm excited about you being there, being here. And so I praise God for your presence. And I think that's all. That's all of my hellos. Miss Lula Chamberlain, great to see you today. I'm glad to have you and glad you're checking in today. And Miss Jane Powell, so good to see you. Glad you could stop by for just a moment. Jorge, coming in from YouTube, one of my YouTube followers. It's good to see you today, Jorge. Today, I want to again reiterate, if you've ever felt broken, today, God put you here today. If you've ever been broken, God put you here today. I would love for you to make sure you bring someone in. If you know someone who right now may be going through a season of brokenness, today this word is meant for them. And so I want you to tag them. I want you to text them. I want you to call them. Tell them stop whatever you're doing. If you know someone who's gone through a season of brokenness, again, good afternoon, Miss Lula. If you know someone who's gone through a season of brokenness, if you've ever felt, or if you know someone who's ever felt broken, if you know someone who's ever been broken, today's word is for them. I want you to go ahead and bring them in. All right, I need to get some of these prayer requests. And so what I'd like to do now is give you the question of the day. Real simple question. And we've had this question before. You all already know mine, but here we go. What is your favorite color? What is your favorite color? That's a simple question of the day. We're not going to be long today. Give me that. What is your favorite color? Go into the chat and tell me what is your favorite color. I'm getting together our prayer list. You're going into the chat. We're talking about our favorite colors today. It's good to see you. Good to see those of you who are coming in. Great to see you. Good afternoon to you, Miss Yolanda. We're about to get into our word today. I mean this. You need to have whoever. We're talking about brokenness today. And so please, but before we talk about brokenness, do me a favor. Go into the chat. Just let me know, what is your favorite color? I'm getting our prayer list together right now. For those of you who have prayer requests, continue to let me know who they are. Continue to let me know who I need to be praying for. And I will make sure that I have them down. getting the prayer list together. All right. Thank you all so much. Let me go through here and just make sure I have each and every one of our prayer lists. I have you. And Sonia Harper. I need to get you. I'm getting our prayer list today. We're talking about favorite colors. We're about to get into this word in about 4 minutes. I want you to go ahead and make sure you've shared your live. Make sure you've tagged anyone you know who's ever been through or going through. If there's anybody you know that's in a season of brokenness, stop what you're doing. Call them. Get them on Facebook. Tell them, go to Fellowship of Love. Maybe share it and go to your page. I don't know, but get them on here. They need to hear this word today. Your prayer list together. We're talking about brokenness today. We are talking about brokenness today. All right. Today's question is really simple. I'm not going to be long at all. What is your favorite color? Good to see you. Glad you're coming in with us, Miss Felicia Holmes. It's great to see you. If you're coming in, please come in and just say hello, no matter how long you're staying. Our question of the day is, what is your favorite color? And we're about to get into the word and the prayer. So let's look at some of these favorite colors. I like this. Green. Jane Powell says she starts us off today. Her favorite color is green. Miss Lula Chamber says red. Red is her favorite color. I like the specificity in this, Karen. Navy blue, not just any blue, not light blue, not aquamarine, right? Not what's celadon. I like my colors. You all, I know my colors. Not baby blue, but not indigo, but navy blue. I love the specificity. And here's Jane Powell with an amendment to hers, or with an addendum to hers, and that is, she likes green because it shows growth. Miss Yolanda, for anybody who knows me, you know we share now the same favorite color. My favorite color is purple. Look at this. I have the purple iPhone. I'm excited about that. I love anything purple. Margaret White Darby, her favorite color is purple and gold. Here's what I want you to do. If you had to choose, Margaret, if someone today put you in a corner and said the only way you can get out is by telling us which one, purple or gold, which one would it be? And we have another purple, all shades of purple. Leanne Marie Russell Keeper, thank you so much for adding to this conversation. We've got blue. Meryl K. Purple seems to be a popular favorite color. Sonia Harper says hers is purple. This is so funny. This is her sister, y'all. Margaret, he asked for one color. Thank you so much, Valeria. I did. You need to tell this to Lisa, too, who just came in here with tangerine and aqua. Two beautiful colors. If you're here, we're about to get into the word. We're just doing the question of the day. We've got about 1 or 2 minutes before we get into the word. Thank you for being here today, and welcome to our community check-in. Come into the chat and say hello. We're about to get into this word, and there's a word for you, I promise, today. Valeria Boykin says red. Now see, I like this. Jorge, even though you said any shade of blue, so I got it, but I like the specificity here. Any shade of blue, but my favorite shades, listen, brother knows blue. Carolina, cerulean, and navy. I like it. Good afternoon, Lisa. Thank you so much. Royal purple, says Felicia Holmes, is her favorite. And Lisa, we backed her into a corner and she came out with tangerine. If she had to choose between tangerine and aqua, she said tangerine. Margaret, we're waiting for you. We got another YouTube Deacon Patricia Burton is here. Thank you so much. Glad to see you from YouTube. And we're glad to have you today. I'm about to get into this word. And here's what I want you to do. Before I get into this word, you're going to see why in just a minute. I really believe that if anybody's ever felt broken, if anybody has ever been broken, today's community check-in is for you. If you've ever felt broken, if you've ever been broken, then what I want to say in the next few minutes is for you. I want to talk just a little bit. And today, you all know I love illustrations. I love stories. One of the things today, you may remember, I have a niece. I have a niece. Okay, we got a choice here, real quick. Margaret chose purple because it associates with royalty and represents strength. I love it. I love it. I love it. Michelle Gordon just came in. Thank you so much for being here. And we are about to get into this word. Here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to tell you. I've got to make some banners. So here's what I want to do. While I'm making these banners, I want to give you 2 minutes. I want to give you 2 minutes to share your live. I want to give you 2 minutes to share your live. Really quick though, Ebony comes in. Pink is my favorite color. It's feminine and playful color. I like it. I like it. Would you please share your live as we're about to get into this word on today? All right. My mom is in New Orleans right now. I'm into this word. Right now. I'm getting into this word. I hope that you've shared. Please like. Please make sure you hit the blue and white thumbs up and the red and white heart. But my mother is in Louisiana right now. She's in Louisiana because my sister recently had a baby named Lennon Thayard. Lennon Jackson Thayard is not quite 1 year old. 1 year old. And my mom is there to spend some time as my sister transitions from being at home to going back into the office. As she's making this transition, 2 things happen. One, she wanted someone she trusted and loved to take care of Lennon for those first few weeks. But the second thing is she wanted my mother to be able to bond with one of her grandchildren. My mom is there. She's loving it. My mom has 3 grandchildren. Bryce, my son, who's 15 years old. She has a granddaughter named Ren Noir. Ren Noir is about to be 3 years old, but she's still 2. She has a grandson, another youngest grandson now, Lennon Jackson Thayard, who's about to be 1. Here's what's interesting. Ren, her middle grandchild, is starting to take art classes and starting to color. And I began to think about, beloved, my first days of coloring. I want to make sure you're here today. We talked about what's your favorite color. If you enjoy coloring, would you go into the comments and just let me know if you enjoyed coloring when you were a child? Isn't that almost a universal delight of being a child? We enjoy coloring. In fact, when we first start school in those first stages, one of the most school supplies to this day is some form of crayon. I remember when I was a young kid having crayons. How many of you remember crayons today? If you do, go into the comments and let me know that you can remember having crayons. Listen, when I was young, I always had the 24 box or the 8 count box, sometimes 32. One of the things I really wish when I was little, I coveted, I desired, I craved that 64 box crayon with the sharpener. Does anybody remember that box of Crayola crayons? They still sell Crayola crayons to this day. I'm glad you all are with me today. And I'm looking at you and I see each and every one of you. I love to color. Never will forget, there's a story about a young girl who loved to color. She was coloring one time in her art class. And as she was coloring, I'm going to pull out my favorite color for this example. I've got to find purple for this example. I think this is it. This right here. Yes. It's called violet purple. This is my favorite color, you all. Violet purple. And I remember the story about this young girl who was coloring. She was coloring and she was pressing the crayon to the paper. And as many of us do, she was delighted in how the crayon, listen to this, was not built for itself. The crayon was built to spread itself across paper and make some art piece, make some drawing, make some coloring book, make some construction paper more beautiful. That's what the crayon was meant to do. It was not meant to just sit. It was not meant to just live for itself, but the crayon was meant to spread itself, to contribute itself, to give of itself on some piece of paper, to give of itself on some art piece, to give of itself on some drawing. And the crayon's point and the purpose was to be on a piece of paper. This young girl was coloring that day. And greetings to you, Miss Lisa. It's good to see you on today. This young girl was coloring. And as she was coloring, many of you may have recognized and realized and may have experienced when you were coloring before, she pressed too hard. And when she pressed too hard, ooh, her crayon broke. If you've ever experienced a broken crayon, would you please go into the comments and just tell me if you've ever experienced breaking a crayon. Because one of the things we know about these Crayola crayons is they are sensitive. They sometimes are fragile, and sometimes these crayons are easily broken. But I've got some good news about these crayons, and I found it as I watched this little girl in art class break her crayon. Upon breaking her crayon, listen to this. This girl began to cry. If you've ever broken a crayon, let me know in the comments. Upon breaking this crayon, tears began to roll down this baby's cheek because she was coloring with her favorite color, but she broke her crayon. Somebody might know where I'm going and should just meet me there. As tears were going down her face and she was suffering all of the sadness and depression and frustration of a little child who is seized by the urgency and the immediacy of right now. When you're a child, whatever's happening right now is either the best thing or the worst thing that's ever happened. Michelle Gordon says she knows what it feels like to break a crayon. She was seized with the urgency and the immediacy of now. The only thing that mattered in her life in that moment was that her crayon was broken. Tears began to roll down her cheek, and she was seized with sadness, melancholy, burdened with the idea that her broken her crayon that she loved so much was broken. The teacher, in all of her educational wisdom, came, knelt down, and sat down by this child. And here's what she told her. What she told her, the next few words, I want you to document in your life. She sat by this baby. She sat by this baby. And she came up to her. And she said, baby, let me show you something. She took that crayon. And she grabbed the girl by the hand and put her hand and start drawing on the paper. And she said something that I never will forget and that I hope will bless you on today. She told her, look, as the tears rolled down her cheek, she said, listen, a broken crayon still colors. She began to color with that broken crayon. God, make me preach today. She began to color with that broken crayon. And as she began to color, listen to this. She began to show that girl that the color from the broken crayon was no different than the color from the whole crayon. The color was just as purple when it was broken as it was before when it was whole. And I don't know if that blesses everybody, but that blesses somebody. Somebody needed to hear this today, that a broken crayon still colors. You may have been broken before, and there's somebody here who's been broken, who felt like you were worthless, who felt like you were useless, who felt like you were helpless, and you needed to hear today that even a crayon, in the midst of its brokenness, it still colors. I wish I was through, but I'm not. As she was kneeling by this little girl with her arm wrapped around her, and as the girl was crying from the sadness of a broken crayon, she told her, a broken crayon still colors. But that's not all she told her. Listen to this. She said, in fact, look, the crayon colors just as purple when it's broken. But here's what she told her. And I pray that this blesses somebody. She said, but let me show you this. Before the crayon was broken, you had two places in the crayon's existence where you could color, either on the back end or the front end. She said, let me show you something. Now that it's broken, you can color with this crayon in 4 places. Here's what she told her. God help me preach today. She said, you could color in 2 places before you broke it, but now look at this. It can color in 4 places after it's broken. In other words, listen to this. The places that this crayon could be used doubled after it was broken. This doesn't bless everybody, but it blesses somebody. This crayon's use was doubled after its brokenness. And there's somebody who needed to hear that today. Somebody's been broken. And I want to assure someone today that you are more useful after your brokenness than you were before your brokenness. There are more parts of you that can color now than ever before. There are more places in you that can be spread around now than ever before. After the crayon was broken, its use doubled. Before the crayon, it could only be broken 2, but after it could be broken 4. I wish that was all she told the girl, but that was not all. She told her 2 more things, and I promise I'm going to get to this prayer. She said a broken crayon still colors. She says that after the crayon was broken, it could double its places where it could color. And that's what I'm here to tell somebody. Here's what she also said. Here's what's even more miraculous about the crayon. She said, look, here's what's even so beautiful. Not only does a broken crayon still color, not only now can the broken crayon color in more places after it was broken than before, but here's what she said. Notice, young girl, that this crayon can color right in the place where it was broken. God help me preach, because there's someone here that thinks that the place you are broken is a bad place, is a shameful place. It should be a hidden place. But this teacher exposed to this child that it is actually the place of our brokenness that we can make someone's picture more pretty. It is in the place of our brokenness that we can be used by God. And that's what I've come to tell somebody today. I have come to tell somebody that God uses our brokenness to color artwork, to make the world more beautiful, to make the world more brighter. You thought you ought to be hiding your brokenness. You thought you ought to be covering up your brokenness. There's someone here who is ashamed of where they've been broken. But that I want to tell you what that art teacher told that baby that day when tears were rolling down her eyes. It is in the place of your brokenness that now you can now color. God, make me preach. And I pray somebody's here, help me to preach. There's somebody here that is broken through a divorce. There's somebody here who is broken through health challenges. There's somebody here who's broken through a depression and addiction. There's someone who's listening to me right now who has been broken in a relationship. There's someone who's been broken financially. But what I want to tell you is it is the place of your brokenness that can color on a piece of paper. I promise I'm almost through. The girl was crying right there at the art table because she had broken her crayon. The teacher came to her and told her what I'm trying to tell you. A broken crayon still colors. She told her that after the crayon is broken, it actually now can color twice as many places as it could before. She told her that it was the place of her brokenness that she could color. And so the baby tried to use what she had been taught right in that moment. She took the color in his brokenness and she tried to color. But listen to this. The wrapper of the color was getting in the way of her coloring on the paper. If you get this last thing, I promise I've done all that God has given me today. The teacher told her, listen, sweetheart, the color can color in its brokenness, but here's what you've got to do. I know this may not sound normal. I know this may be counterintuitive, but you've got to take that paper and you've got to remove it from the place of brokenness. She said, because the only way the color can color where it has been broken is if you listen to this, expose the broken place. God, make me preach. There's somebody here who needs to be helped today. She told her that it is in exposing the place of brokenness that you free the color to do what it's called to do. It is in exposing the broken place that you free the color to be what it is designed to be. And that's what I've come to tell somebody. I promise I'm through, y'all. We are taught. We grow up our whole life taught to cover up our brokenness. We grow up our whole life taught to hide our brokenness. Many of us have come into this chat right now, and you are ashamed of your brokenness. You've been trying to cover up your brokenness. But can I tell you, you can't color with your brokenness until you remove the wrapper away and expose the brokenness. And when that broken crayon gets in the open, you can begin to color on the paper. I'm here to help 5 people who are broken today like a crayon. I want you to leave with this in your spirit. A broken crayon still colors. When a crayon is broken, it doubles its capacity to color. Before it's broken, it can only color in 2 places. But after it's broken, it can color in 4 places because a broken crayon still colors. Here's what I've come to tell you. Not only does it double its places where it can color, but it is actually in the place of brokenness that it can now color again. A broken crayon still colors. Here's the last thing. When you want to color in the broken place, you've got to remove that paper out of the way and expose that broken place to the world. And it is in exposing the broken crayon to the world that you allow it to color on paper. I don't know who this is meant for. I don't know who needed to hear this. I don't know how many people you need to share this with, but I've come to tell you that God uses brokenness. God can use your addiction to make somebody else sober. God can use your divorce to help somebody else stay in a good relationship. God can use your financial breakthrough to help somebody else avoid the pitfalls of bad spending and poor spending habits. God can use your health challenges to help someone else diet right and exercise right. God can use your brokenness. God can use your sadness to give someone else joy. God can use your heartache to heal somebody else. God can use your brokenness to reconcile somebody else's relationship. You've got to choose today to allow God to use me, not because I'm whole, but use me in my brokenness. God, wherever you broke me, help me to make the world a better place. Wherever you broke me, help me to make the world a brighter place. Wherever you broke me, help me to make my community better. Wherever you broke me, expose me if it can make the world greater. Expose me if it can lift someone's life higher. Expose me if it can take someone's burden off their shoulder. But I've come to assure you today, God uses brokenness. I told you needed to share this. If you've ever been broken, you need to go into the tomorrow of your life. You need to go into the tomorrow of your life, remembering and being reminded that a broken crayon still colors. That's all I've got today. I pray that you would share this because I promise you there's someone else in your life that needs to hear it. I pray that you would tag someone. I pray that you would text someone. I pray that you would call someone. And there's someone in your life who's going through a broken season. There's someone in your life who's crying just like that little girl at the art table because they've been broken. But I want to assure you today that God uses brokenness. Isn't that good news today? That a broken crayon still colors just as bright. It doesn't color any differently. Teacher, look at that girl and showed her. The same purple with the broken crayon looks just like the purple from the whole crayon. She broke that crayon and showed her that it doubles. The places you can be used has been multiplied because you've been broken. And it's not necessarily in your place of wholeness that you color. Sometimes it's in your place of brokenness that you color. It's not the whole parts of you. It's not the fixed parts of you. It's sometimes the broken parts of you that can make the world more beautiful and more bright. And finally, I know you're trying to cover it up. I know it looks good to have everything together. I know it would be better if I was a pastor who only got married one time and went to death do us part. I know it would be better if I was a pastor who never made mistakes and never did the wrong thing or was in the wrong place or was at the wrong situation or made the wrong decision. But the truth of the matter is I've been broken. And one of the things that I've learned is to no longer try to hide the fact that I've been broken, to no longer try to get behind the fact that I've been broken, but it is in exposing the fact that I've been broken that God can use my gift better. It is in exposing the fact that I've made wrong choices that God can use my gift better. It is in exposing the fact that I still make mistakes. I still have to cry sometimes. I still get depressed sometimes. I'm still lazy sometimes. I still put off for tomorrow what I can do today sometimes. I still eat wrong sometimes. I still let my anger get the best of me sometimes. But here's what I know. I'm not much, but I'm still what God has chosen to use. And that's what I want to tell you. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, God can still color with you. Every head bowed, every eye closed, every heart prayed. God, today we love you, we honor you, and we thank you because you are the source of our life. God, today we honor you and we bless you because you are the source of our strength. Today, God, I'm praying for someone who's been broken. Today's prayer, God, is specific. I'm praying about brokenness today, God. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not asking for a promotion. Today, God, I'm not asking for more money. I'm not asking for bigger cars. I'm not asking for bigger houses. God, today I'm praying for someone who's broken. Today I'm praying for someone who has gone through brokenness. God, I'm praying that you would help someone who's broken not give up. I'm praying that you would remind someone who's broken that the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm praying that you would remind someone who's broken that trouble don't last always. I'm praying that you would remind someone who's broken that our latter will be greater than our former. I'm praying that you would remind someone who's broken that the best, God, is yet to come. I'm praying today that you would remind somebody right now in their brokenness that you still love them, that you still believe in them, that you still love us, that you still believe in us, that you can still use us, that our goals can still be reached, that our dreams can still come true, that our battles can still be won, that our mountains can still be climbed. God, I'm praying for someone who's been broken, God. I'm praying for someone who shed tears at night. I'm praying for someone who couldn't eat, God. I'm praying for someone who knows what it feels like to lose weight, God, not in a good way. I'm praying for someone, God, who's been stuck on the couch or stuck in the bed. I'm praying for someone who's been broken today. Praying for someone who's been broken literally and broke financially. Praying for someone whose credit has run out. I'm praying for someone whose credit score has gone down. I'm praying for someone who wanted to give up on the church. I'm praying for someone who wanted to give up on the relationship. I'm praying for someone who wanted to give up on God. I'm praying for someone who's been broken. God, I'm praying that you will remind us that you can still use broken people, that you still deliver broken people, that you still bless broken people. Today, God, not just me, God, but I want to pray for those who we've called by name. God, we've called so many by name, but right now, God, for those who are on this list, I pray for Herbert Hairston and family. I pray right now for James Walker, Samuel Perry, Shirley Warren, Cash Bernard. I pray for Sandra Jala and Lillian K. Cole. Today, God, I'm praying for Merrill K. I'm praying for Anderson and the Honeycutt families. I'm praying for Nona Honeycutt. I'm praying for all those who are grieving the death of Cameron Honeycutt. I'm praying, God, I'm praying for Yolanda Taylor and Reverend James Carter and AJ and DeAndre Ellis, Cynthia Wynn Carter, Julia Anderson, Nicole Cherie, and Star Smith Spades. I'm praying for Valerie Boykin and Rajon Hayes, Constance Johnson, Rusheen Reed, Dana Tanner, Lawrence Jones, the homeless community, Carlotta Best, Margaret Darby and family, Gary Barnes, and Mary Green. I'm praying for the Dixon and Collins household. And I'm praying for Sonia Harper and her family. For her father and mother, Deacon and Mrs. Carter. I'm praying for Jackie O'Neill, Jeff Lewis, Bruce Punty, Janine Johnson, Ada Carter, Victoria Smith. God, I'm praying for each and every person who's been called today. And I'm praying for each and every person who called the name. God, I'm praying for Fellowship of Love Church. Continue to extend our impact. Continue to magnify our ministry. Continue to increase our territory so that we may help people to believe there's a revolution of love that can help them live better, love better, and help them make our world better. God, I thank you for this opportunity of prayer. And I thank you for each and every person who's come in today, who's stopped by today, who's checked in today. And I'm praying, God, for every dream that's represented. I'm praying for every goal that needs to be reached. I'm praying for each person who needs a victory. I'm praying for triumph in every person, every listener's life. Whoever's watching me right now, God, I'm praying for their joy. I'm praying for their breakthrough. I'm praying for unlimited blessings. I'm praying for miracles right here and right now. And God, as you do what you are going to do, and as you continue to move and bless and give peace and give your power and give your protection, we will give you all the glory and we will give you all the praise. In the loving, liberating, and life-giving name of Jesus. Amen, amen, amen. You all, I'm grateful that you joined us today. I'm hoping and praying that you have a wonderful, hoping and praying that you have a marvelous weekend. I hope you join us this Sunday at 9. We're continuing our series, Great Encounters. This Sunday at 9, worship virtually with us. I'm also praying today that you would remember that our next in-person worship is our back to school, back to church, in-person worship experience, August 1st, 9 a.m. at Sam's Auditorium. You can go to our website right now and register for that Sunday. We're still registering. We're still in the pandemic. We're still social distancing. We're still wearing masks in church. We're not wearing masks because we're not vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. I'm still wearing masks. We're wearing masks because we know everyone is not vaccinated. In fact, one of the things we know through science, and scientists are telling us, is the Black community is one of the least vaccinated communities in our country. We want people to feel safe. And so we're in solidarity and wearing masks so that people can feel safe in our presence, because we're not going through the changes of letting people know right now who's vaccinated and who's not. Amen. What we're going to try to do is worship uniformly, worship in the proper distance, and worship passionately, and worship authentically to our God. So please join us virtually this Sunday at 9, August 1st, in-person worship. And I pray that God is going to continue to bless you. And I pray that God is going to continue to keep you. I want to touch and agree. I'm touching and agreeing with you, Michelle and Sonia. I'm touching and agreeing with you today as you go off, Lisa and Lisa. I'm touching and agreeing with you, Yolanda and Robin, and Valerie. Robin Barty, it's good to see you, and I'm touching and agreeing with you. Remember, I want you to share this, even if you have to call someone and tell them to go on the page or come back to it. There's somebody in here. There's someone who's connected to you, some friend, some family member, some coworker who is in a broken season, who needs this word today. Please share it. Please spread it. Please offer it, and allow God to allow you to be an instrument of God's work. May God bless you today, and may God keep you. And please remember to live in love. Have a great day.